I'm sure if you talk to me in a couple of years' time, I'll probably be like, oh yeah, the rainy season? Oh yeah, it just happens every year, not a big deal. But yeah, for right now, I'm just like, Minasan, konnichiwa, squishy toke, yokoso. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 things I don't like about Japan. I'm sorry. Before we get into this list, I do just want to say that a lot of these things on the list are things that either I'm just not used to yet, because obviously I didn't grow up in Japan, or they're things that I don't like, but I understand why it's necessary that these things are the way that they are. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, if you like videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And let's begin. Okay, number 1, Tsuyu, or the rainy season. I don't like it. To be fair, I feel like most people don't like it, but I think if you didn't grow up with the rainy season, I think it is particularly strange to get used to. So I know what you're thinking. Doesn't the UK have tons of rain? Isn't England famous for being rainy and miserable? Yes, it is, and you are right. The difference is, I think, we do get pretty frequent rain here in the UK, but it is, you know, spread pretty evenly throughout the year, and we also get like various types of rain. So there's that really annoying rain, which I think is the most common type of rain we get, where it doesn't seem that heavy, so you're like, do I take an umbrella or do I not take an umbrella? And then you decide not to take an umbrella. I don't know why you make that decision, but you make that decision, and then you arrive at your destination and your hair is just a complete mess, and you're like, damn, I knew I should have taken my umbrella. Yeah, we have that kind of rain a lot. It's super annoying. The thing with the rainy season in Japan though is that it is consistently really heavy rain, and I would say that the rain is heavier than what we usually get in the UK, because I think we just get light showers kind of throughout the year, whereas in Japan the rainy season is really heavy rain. And I think the rainy season in 2021 as well, the year just passed, I think it was particularly long. I think a lot of people really struggled with it. And I know in Japan, there are parts of Japan that do get affected really badly by the rainy season. I'm not its biggest fan. And whilst we're on the topic of weather, I'm gonna mention summer as well. I think summer in Japan is really crazy hot, and it's definitely hard for me to adjust to that. In the UK, we have like 4 days of summer, and that's pretty much it, and that's if we're lucky. And yeah, you pretty much have those 4 days and that's kind of your summer done. So to then live in Japan and have a really long, hot summer where it is consistently really hot is really difficult. I'm just really grateful that we have air conditioning everywhere in Japan, because I think that makes it bearable. And yeah, I mean, look, there are things about Japan that I love in the summer as well. So I love the sound of the cicadas, because it really feels like summer when you can hear them. And also all of the summer festivals that you get around that time of year that are all over Japan, and I really like that. So yeah, although the heat is unbearable and the rainy season is a bit miserable, I think they made it on this list just because really I need to get used to them. I'm sure if you talk to me in a couple of years' time, I'll probably be like, oh yeah, the rainy season? Oh yeah, it just happens every year, not a big deal. But yeah, for right now, I'm just like, Okay, number 2, public transport. I know what you're thinking. How could I possibly dislike public transport in Japan? It's efficient, it's on time, it's clean, and you're right, all of those things are great. But there is one thing I don't like, and that is how busy and packed the trains can get in Tokyo, especially in rush hour. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm quite lucky. I do manage to avoid the rush hour trains quite a lot in Tokyo, but I think Japan has become pretty famous for having really busy trains. There are a lot of clips that you can see of them online, and it's pretty scary to look at, definitely. If you haven't seen it before, it's quite overwhelming. It's tough though, isn't it? Because what can you do about it? The answer is nothing. I think if you're a tourist and you're visiting Japan for the first time, it's important to note that you should probably avoid the transport during rush hour, because it is really crazy. I don't think there's anything you can do. Tokyo is a really big city with a really large population, so obviously the trains during rush hour are going to be busy. I think it's something that is completely unavoidable, but at least on the plus side, they are nearly always on time and they are really clean. So that is like kind of the good outweighs the bad there. Whereas in the UK, the public transport can be pretty unreliable. It's not always clean, and sometimes it is really busy here too. But at least in Japan, you know that if you do get on a train, yeah, it is going to be packed and really horrible for the journey, but you will get to where you need to go on time. So yeah, I mean, this is a tough one because I don't really like that the trains are packed, but also there is nothing you can do about it. So I think this is another thing where if I want to continue living in Tokyo, I just got to get used to it. Number 3. This one I have to be a bit more serious about because yeah, this one is kind of sensitive. I don't like the work-life balance in Japan and the working culture in general. What I mean by that is obviously the long working hours. Japan is famous for being one of those countries that has the longest working hours, I think, in the world. But, I understand why it is the way that it is. And I think that is the most important point here. Japan is also one of the most convenient and efficient countries in the world, and it would not be able to be that way if it wasn't for all of those people that do work so hard to make that possible. So if any of you are watching this video and you are the type of person that works really, really crazy hours, I just want to take this moment to say thank you so much. I really, really appreciate everything you do, and I'm really, really grateful for all of your hard work, and you have my complete respect, 100%. Because yeah, without people working hard, Japan can't be so convenient and efficient, and honestly, that's one of the biggest reasons why I love the country so much. It makes life so much easier, and I think as well, because Japan is so convenient, it does make it difficult to then live in any other country. The UK is nowhere near as convenient as Japan, like nowhere near. And so once you experience that convenience, you miss it when it's gone. I just think it is really hard to see how hard people work, if that makes sense. So I'm really, really lucky. I'm not affected too much by these crazy working hours, but I do know people that work these long hours, and I see people around Tokyo who are very, very tired and they really look stressed, and I really feel for them. And I think it's important that people do realize and consider that without these people working so hard, we won't get to enjoy the life that we have. I don't like the working hours and the working culture because I see what it does to people, but I do understand why it's the way that it is. So yeah, I just want to make that clear. Although I don't like it, I get it. I understand. And, you know, I love Japan. And that's something else I really needed to mention, actually, and I wanted to start the video like this, but I really, really love Japan, and I know how lucky I am to live there. Don't think that I'm like, oh no, this is terrible, it needs to change. No, I understand that this is part of the culture in Japan. Okay, number 4, moving fees. The fees are really, really different. So you have the deposit, which is normal. Rent, again, normal. A cleaning fee, sometimes, yeah, it depends on the situation. And then obviously your moving fees for transporting your belongings from one location to another. And then there was the appreciation fee, which we don't have in the UK, and I still don't really understand its purpose. Especially because I've seen some listings where there is no appreciation fee, and some listings where they ask for like 3 months appreciation fee. And I'm just like, why? Why is this here? What do you do? Like, who are you? I still don't really understand it. Obviously, I don't like it because, you know, it's more money, isn't it? That's on this list. I think as well, depending on where you find your accommodation, there are also some insurance fees that you need to pay for. And also, it's really difficult in Japan to find an apartment that allows pets, which was kind of crazy to me because in the UK, that's not an issue at all. I think the only rule is that you don't have a really huge pet or like a really big dog, but most of the time it's fine. But yeah, that appreciation fee, I'm still a bit confused. Like, why? What? But yeah, if any of you guys know why the appreciation fee is such a common thing, yeah, please put it in the comment section below because I'm still really confused by it. Finally, number 5, paper. What I mean is paperwork. I've noticed in Japan that there is an awful lot of paperwork, a lot of applications, a lot of things you need to complete and fill out. I mean, I don't like it. But to be honest, who really does like paperwork? I've never met someone that likes paperwork. And actually, if you know anyone that likes paperwork, let me know and maybe I can ask them to do mine. Yeah, it's pretty overwhelming to see that many forms. And I think it's particularly hard if Japanese isn't your first language as well. But I think even if you are a native Japanese speaker, like if you're not used to that amount of paperwork, I'm pretty sure it's overwhelming. I think for me, the big problem with paperwork is sometimes there are a lot of documents that you need to keep and save just for future purposes. And I am really bad at taking care of things like that because I'll be so aware that I have to keep it safe that I'll keep it somewhere really, really safe. and it'll be so safe that I'll forget where I've put it, and then a few months later when I actually need it, I have no idea where it is. And then a few months after that, I find it again, and by that time it's just completely useless to me. Not a big fan of paperwork, but then again, like, who is? I'm sure if there was a way to digitize this stuff, it would have already been done. So I'm sure there must be a good reason why there is so much paperwork. Well, anyway, that is the end of this list. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below as always. And once again, I do want to say that I do really love Japan. I am so grateful to be able to live in such an amazing country. Really, truly I am. I love everything about it. But yeah, this is just a list of some things that I don't like, but I understand why they're there. Some of these things are completely uncontrollable as well, like the weather. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.